My name is Xiao Qin with Matric number 270088. Do you know about organ donation? Or have you ever thought about being an organ donor? Organ donation is the removal process of an organ or tissues from one person to another person who have had their organs failed or been damaged due to disease or accident. Organ donation may be divided into two categories, namely deceased donation and living donation. Deceased donation is the procedure of donating an organ or tissue to be transplanted into another person after the donor death. The organs or tissues that are in good condition will be immediately distributed to those suitable on the transplant waiting list, while living donation is when a donor decides to donate an organ for transplantation to another person when he or she is still alive. The organs that can be transplanted from a living donor are one of their kidneys, as well as a portion of their lung, liver, pancreas, or intestine. Globally, there are thousands of patients on the waiting list. Every 9 minutes, one more patient is added into the transplant waiting list, and 17 people die each day while waiting for an organ transplant. Unfortunately, the demand for organ transplantation is much greater than the number of people who are willing to donate organs. As stated in the local news outlet, New Straits Times, there are more than 20,000 patients, including those in the final stage of organ failure, currently on the waiting list for organ transplant. Although there has been an increase in the number of organ donors, however, it only represents 1.3% of Malaysia's total population compared to the waiting list of more than 20,000 patients who are seeking organ transplant. A healthy heartbeat, the opportunity to walk once more, sight is a gift. Organ donations allow transplant recipients to stay alive and enjoy their most precious moment in the life. Today, I would like to persuade you that we should all be organ donors. Now that we have some understanding about organ donation, right? Let's look into why we should be organ donors. The first reason that we should all be organ donors is that organ donation is an opportunity to help others. Patients on the organ waiting list are usually in the end stage of organ disease that affect their quality of life and may be nearing the end of their life. For these patients, receiving an organ could provide them with the hope of a life-giving and life-enhancing opportunity. They may be able to live for many more years, just like a normal people. Take the case of kidney failure patients. They will need dialysis to keep themselves alive while waiting for a kidney transplant. While a transplant is not just a cure for kidney failure, transplant recipients may have a significantly longer and better quality of life. Besides, as an organ donor, you are not only saving people's lives. It is never easy to helplessly watch while a loved one suffers from a disease. Your selfless commitment may provide a lot of comfort and relief to the patient's family members. Their quality of life could be improved after organ transplantations. either the patient or their family members. They are able to live without having to pay for the expensive and long-term treatment fees. By registering as an organ or tissue donor, you may provide hope to patients and their families who are hoping for a miracle. It also gives you the opportunity to help others. The second reason that we should all be organ donors is that one organ donor can save multiple lives. You might save and improve the life of many people. When it comes to organ donation, you might think of the heart, lungs, or kidneys, but there are far more on the list. For instance, the liver, pancreas, intestines, and corneas can all be utilized to enhance, even save a patient's life. Blood and tissues such as skin, heart valves, bones, and tendons can also be beneficial. A single organ donor can save 8 lives and be able to benefit as many as 75 others. Let me introduce some examples on the use of organ and tissues. A deceased donor who has 2 kidneys can save the life of 2 kidney failure patients. This action will also allow 2 additional patients to use the dialysis center that was previously occupied by the recipients of the kidneys. It shows that an organ donor was able to influence 4 patients' lives, and that's just the kidney. Besides, tissues for donation must be taken from a deceased donor between 12 and 24 hours after the lungs and heart have stopped working. Tissues can be transplanted to heal others. Tissues that can be transplanted to heal others include corneas, sclera, heart valve, skins, bones, tendons, and amniotic tissues. For instance, both of the corneas of the eyes will be transplanted to 2 different patients. Skin tissue could help burn victims by replacing damaged skin cells. Furthermore, donated bones are used to repair bones that have been damaged by tumors, injuries, or infections. This would prevent the amputation of limbs. The third reason that we should all be organ donors is the lack of organ donors to meet demand. Organ donations are always in short supply. With the low rate of organ donation in the country, there are just not enough organs available to save all the lives of those who need them. One of the most commonly transplanted organs is the kidney. A patient can get a kidney from either a living or a deceased donor. However, the likelihood of receiving a kidney from a deceased donor in Malaysia is extremely low. There are now roughly 23,000 people under the age of 60 who are eligible for a kidney transplant waiting list. However, only 30 to 50 dead donor kidney transplants are performed each year. An end-stage kidney disease patient typically wait 8 to 13 years for a kidney to become available. Hence, there is only one way to increase the number of organs available from transplantations, which is to increase the number of donors. Any one of us could register to become an organ donor and increase the likelihood that patients on the waiting list will receive the transplantation they need to stay alive. What I want to say is, organ donation basically is an uncomplicated way to pugging to save life. And it costs you nothing. Also, organ donation is all about love for each other, giving the gift of life, and allow others the opportunity to live their life to the fullest. It is very easy to register as an organ donor in Malaysia. You could either make an online registration, fill out the printed registration form and send it to the National Transplant Resource Center, or you can visit any government hospital to manually fill out the registration form there. After you have registered as an organ donor, you will receive an organ pal card. Finally, I hope that I have persuaded you to think about being an organ donor. Thank you.